Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. It's going to be a great one today. We're going to be going over one of the trades that I took today, as well as, the watch list for today, and also, coming back to what the title is for this for this live stream. Reading the charts like a book and just becoming a professional at not only reading the charts, but also being capable of walking yourself through and talking yourself through what is happening as the day in the week is progressing. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to have you here. Shorty, Bill, good to have you. Happy anniversary to you. Foo Bear, John, ain't got time to bleed. Good to have you here. Leo, Matib, thank you all for tuning in. I'm just going to get right to it, and I'm going to start talking a little bit about reading the charts, okay? Let's go down and take a look at the trade that I took today on this pair. All right, this is the NASDAQ, NAS 100. And let's take just a little glance. What is happening throughout this week? We've got the opening range for the week on Monday. About like this. Hang on. Real important. Before I start, nothing I'm going to talk about or have ever talked about or will ever talk about is financial advice. Nothing I talk about on this channel is financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for educational and informational purposes only without any express or implied warranty of any kind. Please pause the video. Go back, rewind. Read this whole thing. That way you know this is not advice. It is simply education. Okay, good. Now I can continue. So Monday, opening range, reading from left to right. What did Monday do? Well, it created a high and it created a low. And then what did Tuesday do? They attempted to make a higher high, then they made a lower low, and now it rolled over. We got a lower low over here. And then now we come to today. But today, what has happened? They broke out of the opening range and they went lower. Awesome. We can start to focus in on today. They made a lower low. And then they made a higher high. Okay. Then they go up and they make another higher high. Now, here is some more information. We have a breakout at the beginning of the day, and this has created an area where people have traded the breakout. Maybe they traded at the end of the day, at the close, they traded the breakout, or they traded the close, they shorted the close, whatever it may be. That is going to create an area where they put their stop loss because they've traded this, it's gone down, they put their stops to break even, whatever it may be, but we have breakout trader stops in that area. So again, coming back to today, let's go and take a look at some of the price and some of the stuff that has happened today. We have got the 100 pip box. And in London, they went down and they went into consolidation in a 50 pip box. Now, I consider this, or I call this, a ground level. It is a ground level. And then from there, you can measure up 3 levels of rise off of the low of the day. Notice that I have 3 boxes coming out of ground level, about like this. Now, this is also something that you really want to look for on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, all right? Specifically, measuring off the low of the day or measuring off the high of the day, 3 levels. With that in mind, they've came off the low of the day, 1 level, 2 levels, 3 levels. Also, pointing out that when they came out of consolidation, looking for those 3 push patterns, if you've ever listened to anything that I've ever said, I talk about how the market comes out of consolidation specifically. And looking and noticing those behaviors, we have a 1, 2, 3 to the high. Now, the added confluence to this is 1, 2, 3 to the high. First candle gets my attention. Second candle makes me do something. Third candle gets me to trade this in the worst possible place. Awesome. So I can draw this line right here, and let's look at the timing of all this. Oh, so 9:30. 9:30 is opening up at the high of the day after 3 levels of rise, and it pins up and hits the stops. It hits these stops. Remember, there was a line there where they traded down through it. Now let's go down to the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, once they have came out of that consolidation, now you can kind of see it. Push 1, push 2, push 3, coming out of consolidation in a, you guessed it, 1, 2, 3 to the high, draw my line. First candle gets my attention. Second candle makes me do something. Third candle gets me to do it at the worst possible place in the chart. So when I took this trade, and if you've seen or you saw one of the trades that I took. So I took 2 trades today. Uh-oh, did I delete one of the pictures? Nope, they're right there. Oh, and I put that in the wrong place. Okay, let's get this out. And I got to figure out which one of these pictures it is. Is it that one? Okay, so, yep, it is this one. So this is the first one, the first trade that I took. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle to the high. Notice where I got in. The moment they were engulfing down and then they were jamming back up, they jammed back up, engulfment, pin hammer. I was looking to see, are they going to let these people out? I thought, no, they're not. So when this candle shot up, I short the market. Now, this is a very small short. Honestly, this could have just kept going for an eternity and I would have been fine. However, up, down, up, engulfment. Now I've met some of my criteria and I entered again. Now this is a counter trend scalp. It's with the trend of the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart's making lower lows and lower highs, but it was currently going higher. So this trade was taken. It started to confirm even further. You can see where I entered it in again. And then it went to completion down here. Hit my take profit, and then I decided to wait and see and look. Is there going to be a follow-on trade now that they had broken structure to the downside? Will I get the trade that fits my criteria and I can actually hold on to it for a bit longer? So we have a high, we have a low, then they have a higher high. That means that this has created a lower low. And you can remember the stop loss, or not my stop loss, my take profit was down in this area, crushed that, and then it came back up. So this was break-in structure first mouse, except I'm already out of my first trade. They came back up in a 1, 2, 3. It looks like 4 candles, but it's at least 3 candles. That's good enough for me. Up, down, up, engulfment. Oh, wrong one. Haha, clicked on the first one. Second trade. Nope, that is the correct one. What am I doing with my life? Get back. Okay, here we go. Up, down, up, engulfment, entry, and then I had my stop or my take profit down here. Now I did enter again somewhere down in here as it was passing through, and also as it was passing through this low. If you were on my live this morning with me in the webinar, I was saying, hey, once we pass through this low, I am going to go to break even, and I'm going to let this go until completion. It went right to where it needed to go. Everything was smooth sailing, very stress-free. You can see that I was up, was this 39, almost 40 pips at this point. Then it went another 25. So pretty good trade for both of those. In combination, I was up about 7% today, which is just phenomenal. This has really been one of the best months that I've had in a very long time. My trading has just been really good, really accurate, and my psychology has been on point. My trade management has kept me from taking significant loss or any loss really at all in the past couple of weeks. I think the last loss that I took was on oil. And I actually posted that here in the community channel on YouTube. Not to say that I'm invincible or anything like that. I'm going to take another loss probably soon. But, you know, just continue to do what I'm doing and do the best that I can. Hopefully this trade has kind of shined some light on the thought process and what I was thinking in the moment. Because I kind of remember some of the thoughts that were going through my head since it was this morning. Thinking about, hey, 1, 2, 3, where are people stuck? That same thing always repeating through my head. This is the candle that gets me to do something. That's the candle that, or I'm sorry, this is the candle that gets my attention. That's the candle that has made me do something. That's the candle that has made me buy at the worst possible point. And that's the candle that has trapped those people in those positions and not allowing them to get out. All based off of behavior, all based off of where I believe that people are stuck. And if you were here from the very beginning of the live stream, starting on the 15-minute chart, that's where the thesis or the idea had started. Okay, how's everyone doing? Does that kind of seem to make sense? May I ask something, Hamara? Absolutely, please do. If any of you have questions as I'm going through this, boy, what is my hair doing? I need to get a haircut. I look ridiculous. As I'm going through this, if you'll have questions, please feel free to ask. That's why I'm here. That's why I do these lives. Cam, do you find the NASDAQ Friday close as odd closing on the... Yes. Well... Yes and no. Like, if that was a first red day, a lot of times, you know, so if you ever looked at my criteria on my first red day or first green day videos, whenever they close at the extreme on a first red day, I'm usually worried about them reversing and rolling over this would have been cause for concern, except it wasn't because of all the other things that came in. George, thank you. Appreciate it. Great info. I appreciate that. Do you study market maker, Steve Morrow? That was where I got some of my beginnings. So yes. But it's been a while. So no, not anymore. Thanks, Cam, for the roadmap. Now I just need to, yep. Took the same trade and held through the pullback finally. Good stuff. Fantastic. Hey, so kind of coming back to the title, I don't want to leave you all hanging about what in the world is he talking about reading the charts like a book. Think about a book. At least here in America, we read from left to right. And I'm sure that most places in the world, same thing. But you read from left to right. Okay, so the chart's the same thing. You're reading it from left to right. The way that I do it in my head is I'm going through and being like detail, 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 detail. And then all of those details that lead into the trade. So right up until the very moment. Notice how I read it from left to right and I was following every candle pretty much, or every swing and every detail leading right up to the trade. And then getting down to that 1 minute time frame and then following it again right up to the trade from left to right. What's happening from left to right and just following it. And then entry criteria, candlestick behavior, market traps, market structure, 3 pushes, again, market traps, and then taking the trade based off of my entry criteria. It sounds complicated, and it's like, man, this guy's got so many steps, so many things to look for. I promise you, if you've ever played sports or anything like that, when you first started, you probably don't remember because most kids started playing sports when they were really young. But the longer you do it, the easier things get. Right? And it becomes almost kind of second nature. Coach tells you a play, and you just know how to do it right off the bat like that. It's going to become the same thing with your charting as long as you stick with it and you continue to try and get a little bit better every single day. You don't have a coach there to tell you, hey, get better. It's just you, all right? You're a one-man army. So you have to really push yourself every day to find ways to improve. All right, enough rambling, enough talking. Yes, exactly, Foo Bear. Hey, Cam, what pairs, in your opinion, move best in Asia session? I have no idea. Probably the Asian pairs. The euro, pound. I don't trade Asia, so I really couldn't tell you. I'm not being sarcastic. I just don't want to give you any sort of, expertise on something that I don't really practice. Caslow, good to have you here. Good stuff. Took the same trade. Okay, read all those comments. Good stuff. I'm moving on. Let's go back to, let's start figuring out what to actually look for tomorrow. All right, so if you've been following me for any amount of time, which most of you probably here have been, and if you are new here, do me a huge favor. Consider looking at the rest of my channel and making a decision. Maybe you want to subscribe, maybe you don't. Go through my playlist. If you haven't seen my playlist yet, it's called Watch from the Beginning for Effective Learning. And you can watch it from the very first video all the way till the end, and that will probably kind of help you to make it make sense. Let's go back to here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the watch list for tomorrow. And if, like I said, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know what I'm looking for tomorrow. I will be looking for 3 pushes outside of the opening range. I will be looking for things where they have trapped volume on a Wednesday or a Thursday up high or down low and are now ready to shift in the other direction. Typically, I do enjoy looking for reversals on Friday. I do not like looking for trend trades on Friday. I don't know why, but that's just the truth. Now, that's not to say that there won't be a trend trade tomorrow. It's all about the timing and the levels and the behavior and all those things. So I can't predict that. I can't tell you what's going to happen. All I can do is give you the signal days and tell you what I think might happen tomorrow. And then when I get to my session, I'll be able to react based off that information. Cool. So we've got the opening range, high and low. And now I'm going to immediately, what's the first thing I look for? Signal day. Was there a signal day today? No, there was not. We had the opening of the market, and we just traded lower. We've got 2 days of breakouts in the market. Do we have 3 pushes outside of the opening range? No, we've got 1. Now we have 2. So I'm going to mark that off because that is information. That is actually, detailed information. I need to know that. So I've got push 1 and push 2 coming down yonder, outside of the opening range. That's how I mark it off. I'm going to mark it off down here. And I'm actually going to mark off this as my end of day consolidation, about like this. Don't get too scientific with it. Don't stress yourself out. Start sweating and trying to figure out where it's at. It's the most obvious area. That's the low. That's the high. Mark it off. If you want to get sweaty and do whatever, that's fine. Just make that your end of day consolidation. It really doesn't matter. All right. The whole idea with this end of day consolidation is market only does three things: breakout trend, breakout reverse, or stay inside of a trading range. So when I come to my session tomorrow, I'll be able to see, are they breaking out? Are they working the high? Are they working the low? Which one of the scenarios is playing out? And also, in addition, I use the end of day consolidation in combination mainly for first red day and first green day, because I have three scenarios revolving around those. And if I see a first red day or a first green day during this live stream, of course, I will point out what I am talking about. Okay, so signal day, no. Three pushed out outside the opening range, no. Market structure, going lower. Okay, break of structure, about like this. That's all we've got, okay? I'm going to put this into pump and dump, and I am going to move on. Let's go to S&P. Does S&P look any different? No, it does not. Okay, I've got this break of structure, BOS. And I'm going to put same levels on here and see what it looks like when I come to the screen tomorrow. But I'm not going to even bother going through and mark. You can even see on here where I had the stops marked off, ready to go. They hit them. It looks like S&P was probably a decent trade as well. Maybe it just didn't go quite as far as quickly. Let's see. Put this on the bottom. All right. Any other signal days that maybe are different? Nope, I don't see anything. Okay, so I'm going to put this S&P in the pump and dump as well. US 30. Let's take a gander. We'll take a stare. All right, US 30. All right, we have this inside day on US 30 over here on Wednesday. So I'm going to make sure I label this off, inside day. And that means that there's still stops sitting up here. Could happen this week. Might happen next week. Maybe it never happens. But in a lot of cases, they do come back and they will hit those stops eventually. Those people cannot just stay in profit forever. All right, so we're making lower lows and lower highs. We got this lower low. And that means that this is my low. And this is still my high, but I'm going to do my end of day consolidation about like this. And I'm going to throw that up there. EODC. Now, I do see that this is a little bit wider spread. And I'm actually going to put a smaller consolidation down here that's just a bit tighter. All right, so marking this off, signal day. We had one, it's going to be 2 days ago as of tomorrow. But I've got the stops labeled. That's good enough for me. Do I have anything else? 3 pushed outside of the opening range? No. Do I have 3 days breakouts? No. Inside day, over there. First red day, first green day. This is definitely not a first green day. No, cannot do anything else. I'm going to put this up here again with pump and dump because it looks fairly similar to everything else. And I know I'm talking very fast, so I apologize. If you all have questions, though, I am paying attention to the chat. So if you want to ask me anything or really anything, all right, feel free. And I'm still self-conscious about this one little piece of hair that I keep noticing every time I look over at the recording. So it is what it is. All right, gold. All right, failed breakout, low of week. Now we're come up and we're resting gently on top of the opening range. I'm going to delete all this. I'm going to redo it because I like to, work through it left and right, or left to right. Opening range, failed breakout, low of week. Push 1, push 2, outside of the opening range. I'm going to mark that off because you never know. I might come to the screen tomorrow and they've done push 3. That'd be cool. So I'm going to do push 1. Remember, always using those previous day's levels as my reference for pushes. I don't try to gauge where the push is. It's just about where is the highest place that this place went, because that's going to put a previous day's high over here, and I can say, hey, that's the push. And if they go higher on the next day, that's my next push. Just like if they go higher tomorrow, that will be my third push. All right, I can put 3 question mark. That lets me know if they go back up there, phenomenal. Now, there is a break in structure. Now, it's a minor break, which means that my major swing low is probably going to be, so we had a series of lower lows, lower highs, and they started to make higher highs and higher lows. They did not break structure again until right here, which means that my major swing low is down yonder. I'm going to mark this off, major, because it will help me to remind me of what I was thinking right now as I talk to all of you. Because they broke structure of a minor structural level, high, low, higher, high, break in structure to the downside, all we have done right now is trade back into the low. It's not necessarily a break in structure of a major swing. So what I'm going to do is minor BIS because I've noticed it, and it's very obvious and apparent to me. Minor low. What did I just do? There we go. Minor BIS. And I meant to put this down at the bottom so I can actually see it. Okay. So that means that my current swing high and current swing low, we had a low, higher high, lower low, higher high, break in structure back up to the upside. So that's neat. And then we now have gone up. That's a 1 candle pullback. I don't consider that as a swing low. That's a 1 candle pullback, which means I don't consider that as a swing low, which means that I would mark this off with a U to figure out where is my swing. This is where the high was created. This is where the high was broken. I'm going to draw my line down here as a minor swing. And that means that this is going to be my high. This is going to be, now this is going to look like way too many lines, and it probably is. Tighter consolidation, though. Remember I said I like to do larger box within or a smaller box within a larger box. So I'll do EODC up here. I'm going to put, I'm going to delete this because that's just too much. I'm actually going to delete this as well. And I'm going to put minor on here, so I don't confuse myself with why do I have so many lines up on my screen. Alrighty then. And I'm going to put major up here on this one because we've identified that this is our major swing. And if I were to go to a 1 hour chart, I have a feeling that this idea was probably confirmed. Yes, it is. Little tips and tricks. If you use a 1 hour chart, a lot of times that will generally help you figure out your major levels, and then you can just figure out your minors on the lower time frame. All right. Now I don't go to the 1 hour chart barely ever. I simply or merely use it as a demonstration to you all. If you're having troubles figuring out what I just did on the 15-minute chart, there is a way to do it a bit simpler on the 1 hour. However, you don't need to necessarily. Okay, so was there a signal day yesterday? 1 day, 2 days. So no. Do I have structure labeled? After a bit of work, yes, I do. End of day consolidation, good. 3 pushed out of the opening range, no. So I need to put this into pump and dump along with the other indexes and wait and see if the rest of the template maybe starts to play out tomorrow, or, really just what happens around 9:30 will tell me everything that I need to know. Boom. Shadera, good to have you here. Inside week at the moment. That's actually good information as well. Friday. Okay, I'm going to do that. Thank you, Caslo, for pointing that out. And great, another line. I'm going to change the color of this one, though, so I don't have 5,000 red lines up here. And I'm just going to do previous... Oh, there we go. Previous week's high. Because we are pretty close, so maybe this will go parabolic through there on a Friday. That would be a trend trade. And I just said that I don't really care for those. But this is... it's kind of lining up for... That's kind of what it looks like. You know, I don't really know. We'll see. That's actually a little inverse head and shoulders as well. Kind of cool. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, engulfment. That means that there's a profitable trade down here. Because somebody definitely traded the break of that neckline. Let's see here. Update us on your trading journal and trading system, please. I need one yesterday. Ain't got time to bleed. Hey, everybody. Since you asked, I've been not really, I really have been trying not to advertise paid products. But in January 1st, okay, the journal, the trading, or the, what am I saying? The course with all of the videos, the study binder, everything, all of it. Everything that you could ever possibly need for trading education, with my style of teaching and all that stuff, January 1st is the release date. It's going to be over probably between 200 and 300 pages long of PDF, easily 10 to 20 hours of video. Study binder has taken me easily over 30 hours to make, and it's not done yet. So it's just examples upon examples. And then the trade journal was created by a professional Google person, an Excel professional, someone other than me who's not very good with Excel. All right. So all that's going to be coming out. It's going to be affordable, I promise. I'm not going to try and gouge everyone like $500 or $600 for a course. It's going to be like 150 or something like that for most of those things. That's enough. I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but you asked, so I answered. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oil. Okay. right off the bat. Did we hit previous day's high today? Ooh, that is real close. I think it did, though. I don't care. I'm leaving this because they hit the stops, but did they really hit the stops? And we haven't made a lower low yet. Yesterday was first green day. Today didn't eventuate. Now, it could roll over. There's a good chance it could roll over. I'm not saying that. However, I think that I'm actually going to leave this almost exactly like it is. Because look at what my thought process was coming into the session. Look how they came out of the bottom of this consolidation. Boom, push, pause, push, pause, push, capitulation candle / climax candle. Never went any lower. Has now reversed. Trap volume. There was actually a long trade down here at the low of the day, 8:30. I don't trade till after 9:30, so it probably, there was continuation. Not really ideal. However, this is a fantastic example of we got 3 days breakouts down. Is this 3 pushed outside the opening range? Alrighty, let's see here. No, what am I doing? I swear I lose my brain every second of the day. Okay, we got 1 push down. And then we had this push down. It's just pins, but I don't care. It did go lower, so that is a push. So when we have 2 pushes down right now, and we don't have that third. We've gone into consolidation, bit of a rectangle. Why is this line there? What's this line doing? Okay, so I've got a signal day. I've got the opening range. We only have 2 pushes out, like I said, so I'm going to put that up there. I don't want to miss any details. Okay, we had a low. They did not go any lower. They did go lower over here. So there's still no break-in structure necessarily to the downside. Oh, wait. Hold on. Nope. No. Okay, so we're good. Good. So there's that line there. This is a breakup structure. That means that my high is still up here. Sorry, I just really needed to stare at that one. There is still no break-in structure. That's my high. This is my low. I'm going to mark off my end-of-day consolidation about like this. Last swing high, last swing low. We'll just do like this. That's fine. It's a bit wide, but it's okay. EODC. And we're going to put this up into... I'm going to put it back into 3 days of breakouts. It'll be fine. Let's see here. Shorty, I appreciate that. Previous month's low. Let's take a look. Very nice. Yep. Purple line, previous month's low. We're right there. And we're actually coming towards the end of this month as well, which could be a sign. I think this is all I can really do. I keep saying that and I keep staring at it, but all of these notes that I have up here will be plenty to form an idea coming into the session tomorrow. So if you're taking notes or if you're looking to see how you should set your stuff up, might not be the worst. This is also a bit like push down 1, and then I thought this was going to be like push down 2, and then maybe 3, but this went a lot further than expected. It didn't go into consolidation and hit it one more time. So what I'm saying is like this is push down or session 1 down, and then we had push 2 down, and I was expecting maybe it would push down and then go into consolidation, hit it one last time, push 3, long trade 930. Didn't happen like that. Very well. Gonna move on. When counting 3 pushes out of opening range, does a wick on previous... Yes, it does. I count that as a push because it moved the previous day's low down further. If it goes lower than that line tomorrow, I'll count that as a 3rd push. Guys that shorted oil and... Oop, there's ads. Yep, skip that. Okay, we're moving on. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Probably the opposite of oil. Yep, straight up. Cool. So we do have 3 pushes outside of the opening range on this pair. You can see it by my really awesome annotations. These were my thoughts about today. Push 1, push 2, coming into push 3. Now we've gone higher. Wow, that looks weird. 1, 2, 3 to the high. Not to say anything about tomorrow. This very well just could keep going vertical for all eternity. High, low, higher, high. That's going to make this my current swing low and also my end of day consolidation, EODC. I don't know what I just typed. EODC. There we go. And was any other signal. We got 3 days of breakouts. I'm going to put this up into opening range because of the 3 days of push, or 3 pushes outside of the opening range. I would have really liked to have seen maybe, a break-in structure. This is a break-in structure, I know, so this is a major high, which means that they've extended the major high up now. And they probably have brought the major low up somewhere. I'm not even going to try and figure out where. Probably on the hourly chart would tell me. Yep, cool. So it's probably down in this area, unless they break the high again, in which case it would probably move it up here. So I'm even going to be willing to do that. Neat. Okay, if they would have broke down, I would have really considered this a better major high because it could still be extended higher. Once it breaks structure again, this will be a much more solid major high, but for now, that's good enough. I think oil was... Okay. Let's see. I think this is all I need. This should be good enough. Plenty for a good thesis coming into tomorrow. And I'd be looking just for, same stuff as always. When I come into the session tomorrow, especially with the students in the webinar, been doing the analysis every morning at 7:30. We do high of London, low of London, high of gap, low of gap coming into the session. And then those are going to be our 15-minute levels coming into the day. All right, US dollar, Japanese yen. Today's the day. It finally happened. We've extended outside of that pesky range that I've been talking trash about for like 2 weeks now. Actually, it's been much longer. It's been 3 weeks. We've had this range. We've just been messing about. Something that I thought was very interesting. Look at all the candles. It's just always an accumulation. Stop hunting, jamming up, jamming down, market maker playground, all right? Doing absolutely whatever. Then, all of a sudden, the candles look very different. They've came to the outside. The candles look very different. It's like volume came back into the market. Volume came back into the market, right? We've gone to the outside. They came out once. They came out twice. They came out a third time. Then they pulled back in what appeared to be a 3-push pattern and reversed. That was my idea for today, and I didn't even watch this pair at all, if I'm being completely honest. I was interested for a little bit, but honestly, this pen, it's still just... They don't want to give it up. It just seems heavily manipulated right now, so I was steered clear from this again, and I was really focused on the NASDAQ. All right, I'm going to mark off the previous session high and previous session low because of the way that they've spiked up and they've spiked down, and that looks nice for a little something like this. I'm going to mark off this low as well because that looks like end-of-day consolidation material. And then I'm going to go through the normal process. Do we have any sort of signal day today? Well, we've got breakouts, 2. Do we have 3 pushed outside the opening range? No. So that's it. That's all we've got. All right, we got a low, a high, higher high, or higher low, higher high, breaking structure to the downside. Now we've kind of just gone into consolidation between a high and a low. That's it. We're back on the inside. Just like that. Okay, so going to have to probably postpone this one again and just put it right there. With 3 days highs, where would you look for a trade today on US dollar CAD? Well, it's been going up, Robert. So if it's 3 days of breakouts to the upside and then there's a break-in structure to the downside, I'll just categorize it as simply as I can. I'm looking to sell high. So it's the high of the day, high of the session, something along those lines. And of course, applying all of the criteria. And that is only if it presents. It may just do completely the opposite of what I'm expecting. And then I'll just go about my day. Okay, Euro GBP. All right, failed breakout beginning of the week. Then they went back up. Now we got a failed breakout at the high of the week. And they've spiked back down once again to the low of the week. That's mighty cool. So we're basically kind of just in a trading range this week. Did we even hit the previous week's high or low? No, we have not. I really don't like that. Okay. Do we have a signal day today? Actually, so you got Wednesday. And then on this Thursday, we've hit the high. We've hit the low, and then we pulled back inside. Okay, let's... I'm going to formulate at least some kind of idea. We got the previous week's high up there. That's an important detail. We have not hit that yet. Then we spiked up. Failed to break out at the high of the week. Then we spiked down. Failed to break out at the low of the week. Now we've pulled back inside. I'm going to do end of day consolidation. About like this. And like this. This is one that likes to, whenever there's a big move, usually the big move comes in London. So maybe it won't happen, but I don't know. Huh. Well, that looks like a day zero on like a whole hourly chart. Peak high, then they came down, spiked down low, and then traded back up into the high. I don't really know. I'm just going to leave it like this. I don't really have any idea. I'm going to put it in a squeeze because that's kind of the pattern that's developing. And it looks like it's plotting something, but I'm just not really sure. Okay, if I'm being completely honest. It looks like there could be volume held up high, day zero, for a move down. But it also might, maybe it's going to work the low of the week. We've got the opening range down here, about like this. You know, this could be very well working the low of the week to vertical go up. I need more information. This is definitely one where I don't know. I need more information right before the session begins. You're welcome, Robert. Hopefully that actually helped. Euro USD. I'm moving on. Had the opening range today. You can kind of see some of my thoughts. Breaking structure, question mark. It looks like maybe it was. Now we're going back up a little bit as of right now. Do we have a signal day? Day one breakouts. Day two breakouts. Do we have three pushed outside the opening range? No. Where is my opening range? That was a really wide range opening range. If you all want something to study, go back and find all of your wide range Mondays and then compare them to like an inside day on Monday. Something interesting to study up on. It's a good compare and contrast exercise. Wide range. Obviously, it's wide range, right? Okay, and then we have failed breakout, confirmed breakout on Wednesday. We've gone lower, trend trade. Day one, day two, day three of the 3-day cycle, we've gone lower. So that's going to revert back to day one. And now what's happening? We've got the low of London. They went lower, break of structure, going lower. And then draw my little U. Now I got to break in structure, going higher. I'm going to draw my end of day consolidation about like this. I'm really not seeing anything right now that I'm like jumping out of my chair. Like, yes, this is the one that I'm probably going to be most interested in tomorrow. I just don't see that right now. Maybe it'll change by tomorrow. But, I mean, I hope it changes by tomorrow, but who knows? Okay. That's legitimately all I can do on this. I'm going to have to put this up here. It's going to go above US dollar Japanese yen, though, for pump and dump. I don't see... That's okay, so it's not a first green day. It's not a first red day. It's definitely not an inside day. All right. US dollar Japanese yen. Okay, so this is a bit different story. Wednesday, Thursday, what appears to be a first green day. I'm not counting that as a first green day, though. So here's the thing. We've been going up for a long period of time. And then we get a first green day. That's weird. I'm not doing that. Now, it could very well just keep going up, and that's totally fine. But I'm not willing to classify that as a first green day. With that much, we've been going up for quite some time. Lower lows and lower highs. Okay, we got push one, push two. So there's only two pushes outside of the opening range. How many days of breakouts? 1, 2. Okay. Low, they went lower. Draw my U. That's where they went lower, so this is my high. Man, there's just really not much I can do with that, to be honest. I mean, it has gone into a rectangular consolidation, which is nice, because that's kind of what we want to see, but... Did I just draw that? I did, didn't I? What a weirdo. All right, I think this is all I can really do for this pair. I'm just going to stick it up here again with US dollar, Japanese, or I'm sorry, Euro USD. Take a look at pound dollar. Is there anything different? Okay, now this is a bit different. Okay, see, now this is the moment I pull up a chart and I see an image and I say, hey, this looks good. That's usually a pair that I should maybe glance at tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying that there will be a trade on that by any means. You know me, I like to make that very clear. However, the moment I pulled this up, the very first thing I saw was we have been going down, and now we have been going up, which means that we had a breakout. The breakout has maybe failed now, first green day. Only thing is we closed at the very extreme of the day. Don't really care for that. However, let's take a look. Lower lows, lower highs. Is that a break in structure to the upside? Is this volume trapped? That is the question that I'll be asking myself tomorrow and letting the market prove to me whether or not that thesis is correct. All right. And I'm going to put... I don't think I have a trap volume. It's okay. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'll just type it in there. Okay, and now we've got a slight move up, higher high, and that's going to make this the low down here. That's also going to give me my end-of-day consolidation. It's fairly tight. EODC, and I'm going to mark that as a first green day because that is what I'm seeing. Based off of dump, push 1, dump, push 2, dump, push 3. That's where the move maybe began. That's where the volume is currently trapped at the high of the week. And where I believe that the dump has began. It could actually have came maybe from New York. Maybe like up here. And I'll be conservative and say that. Okay. All right. I think that out of all these pairs, I think this is the one that I probably like the most, if I'm being completely honest. Hi, Cam. Namaste from India. Good to have you here. Fantastic. Do you think this will work on wheat, soybeans? Hey, Shorty. So a lot of people always ask me this. Hey, do you think it works on this? Hey, do you think it works on that? If the market has a high and the market has a low, and it has candlesticks that show up on the screen, there will be structure. There will be a high and a low. There's going to be first green days. There's going to be first red days. There's going to be trap volume. So yes, all of these concepts will apply. Now, I've never traded those personally. So, you know, I can't tell you definitively, but there's a pretty good chance, okay? How often do you pyramid your trades? Maybe like once a week on something that looks really, really good. Like today was probably the closest this week that I've been to pyramiding, except I closed the first position altogether and then just added back in on the second one. I'm at the end and I'm done in 45 minutes. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? 85 viewers, 63 likes of the stream. I'm going to fish one time. Ladies and gentlemen, please just hit that button. It really does help me out. If you haven't done it already, hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up. It's not going to hurt you, but it will help me, I promise. So just the only bit of support that I actually ask for. Do I... Noob. What does that mean? Do you ever carry overnight? No. I do not. Oh, noob question. I probably should have picked up on that. You're welcome. No, I don't, because it's stressful. You never know what's going to happen. We could start another war, or some craziness might happen, like an oil field blows up. I have no idea. And the next thing you know, you come back, your trade has gapped 500 pips like oil did not too long ago, and you're really sad because your whole account's probably gone. Unless it gapped in your direction, then awesome. But that's gambling for sure. You're welcome, Shorty. In fact, how long ago was that? I made mention to that the other day, and then I kind of like forgot how long ago it was. Was that it right there? That had to have been it. Yeah. That has to be it right there. I'm going to go take a look at that. There it is. Yeah, so this is this was a Friday and then coming into Monday, and then imagine if you were short for whatever reason on this, and then you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, 500 pips straight up. Why don't I pyramid more often? Because most times, or more often than not, it'll just go the distance, 50 pips, 30 pips, 40 pips. It'll just go straight there. Are you a scalper? I mean, if you count 40 or 50 pips as a scalp, then sure. I care more about risk to reward and how much size I can get on the trade safely. A lot more than, you know, sizing in and holding on for as long as possible. It's all about the trade setup that I'm taking, and where I believe that it should go on the chart will depend on how much I size in, what percentage of risk, and then how I, you know, play the take profits. I don't know if I would be considered a scalper necessarily, because I think scalps, people, the expectation is you're taking like 10, 15, 20, 30, 100 trades a day or whatever, and you're just trying to get like 1 or 2 pips. I don't really think that I would consider 50 to 100 pips a scalp. Once you have a sizable account, no need to pyramid every single trade. I mean, even with a small account, I don't think there's a need to size that way. You just scale in to manage risk or to manage your position. What is your target preferred? My average risk to reward is 1 to 3. So I'm like today I took a 1 to 2 was my first trade. 1 to 3. And then the second trade was a 1 to 5. So at a 1 to 3 and a 1 to 5 today, my average is usually 1 to 3. And between a 60 and 70% win rate. I say between because it was at 70, but I'm sure it's gone up and down here and there, so I don't know for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic stream. I've really enjoyed talking to all of you. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for your participation as well. It really does make it more enjoyable for me as the person sitting here doing this. I don't just do it because I like to hear myself talk. I genuinely do this because I want to help you all, and I want to have that me talk, you talk kind of two-way interaction. I never want it to be just me sitting here talking at the screen and then being like, all right, goodbye. I really enjoy that you all, you know, make it interactive. So I do appreciate that. You'll have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. I'll see you in the next one on Tuesday when I do the next live stream, because I do these every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I will have a video out this Saturday at 7 a.m. ready to go. So please, please, please check those out. My last few videos have been doing quite poorly, if I might be honest. But that's okay. It's an up and down kind of thing. If you all want to check out those videos, they will be in the playlist. You'll have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next one.